Hey everyone, I'm Trevor, and today we're at Disneyland for our October construction update. What rides are closed? What other things are closed throughout the park? That's what we're here to find out, so let's get going. And as we typically do, we are going to begin our construction update right here on Main Street with the Disneyland Railroad here behind me. Now, the good news for this construction update is that if you've been following my previous construction updates, nothing on this list is going to be a surprise for you, with one or two small exceptions, which we'll get to a little bit later. Everything else, there's nothing brand new that's shocking or eye-opening or anything like that. But of course, we knew that the Disneyland Railroad was down. Somebody asked, is the fact that there is scrim up indication that this is going to be a longer closure? Remember, the Disneyland monorail closed at the same time as the railroad, and the monorail surprise came back from a refurbishment early before the schedule said it was going to, and just reappeared. Is the same going to happen with the Disneyland Railroad, or is it in for a longer refurb? I feel like the last time that I was here, this scrim was actually just a brown scrim. So the fact that they put up colored printed scrim that is, matching the building that's behind it seems to tell me that they don't want it looking ugly here for an extended amount of time. I think it probably is going to be a while. I do hear construction going on, loud construction noises coming from behind that scrim here today, so I know that they are doing some heavy machinery type stuff. This is not just like a simple little paint job or anything like that. Also, the construction is not isolated to here on Main Street, but every single one of the railroad stations around the park is under construction walls. We've got no further updates for you on Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, so we're just going to leave it at that. It's still closed. In a previous video, I briefly mentioned that Disneyland does have a scavenger hunt, and this is their Halloween scavenger hunt this year, Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit. And you can actually purchase that right next to the Mad Hatter gift shop here at the entrance to Main Street, USA. And if you're curious on the prizes, there are little mini pumpkin sippers. They've got different prints on them. There's a Stitch one over there, and we have, it looks like Goofy there, and Pluto here, Mickey there, and Minnie on that one. And then they even have this whole set of pins that are related to those patterns too. That'll be ongoing through the whole month of October, so I thought I would share it. If you're coming after October, they'll probably have one for Christmas too. We still have another 5 minutes to go till rope drop, actually. It's a little overcast now. The last couple of mornings, really in the entire month of September, I feel like have kind of been like this. It will burn off very much like June gloom in the month of June. It's right now about 62 degrees, a little chilly for us Southern Californians, but it does have a high of 82. So you will be shedding those outer layers if you are wearing one here in the morning. But we're not participating in a rope drop this morning, so what I like to do is just come in here to the Jolly Holiday Bakery Cafe, grab a seat, and watch the ensuing craziness. And there they go! We're just gonna sit here and we're gonna wait for the crowds to disperse. Next up on our construction update, we are heading to Adventureland. And as we told you last month, Jungle Cruise closed on September 16th, and it does reopen on Friday, October 4th. So it'll be closed the first couple of days of the month of October. This is reportedly to fix the tiger, the Bengal tiger, Himalayan tiger actually seen that is in the ride, where they have the ginger snap crocodiles, and they've had this big boxy thing around the tiger. The tiger's still been there, but they're fixing the tiger's display, enclosure, whatever you want to call it for lack of a better term. That's what they're updating here in Jungle Cruise, closed for 3 weeks. We're currently in the midst of that refurbishment. And it does indeed appear to be the Himalayan tiger scene getting the refurbishment. I popped over by Indiana Jones here, and the line, you can see that Himalayan tiger scene. They've got, well, not necessarily scrim, just, well, I guess it is kind of scrim, just a construction type tarp there up around the Himalayan tiger. They're doing updates and work on that. The sailing ship Columbia is currently closed for a very short refurb. It closed on Monday, September 23rd and reopens Friday, September 27th. I know this is an October construction update, but I always film these a little early because I'm never quite sure exactly when I'm going to put them out. And just in case that I put this out before this is open again, I just wanted to mention that sailing ship Columbia down for a very, very brief refurbishment. Now let's talk about Haunted Mansion for a minute. One of the most popular questions that I get both here on YouTube and in our new Facebook group called Disneyland Tips and Vacation Planning with SoCal Disney Dad. I highly recommend you join it. We have over 1,300 or 1,400 members as of the time of this filming, and people are asking 30 to 40 questions a day, and every single question gets between 2 to 10 answers depending. So it's a really great community already, even though it's small. Would love to have you there. I'm there answering questions as well. But the question that we get with regards to Haunted Mansion is, when is it going to come off of virtual queue? And the answer to that is a bit of an unknown, but we do have like some benchmarks that need to happen first, of course. And the benchmark is that the standard queue has to finish its construction. So the reason it's on virtual queue is because most of the queue is currently behind a construction wall as they're adding in an ADA elevator. Because right now, anybody who is in a wheelchair has to go down the main elevator and then back up the main elevator. And they're putting in a special ADA elevator, and they're having to close the queue as they're building all of that. Once all of that is done, they can reopen the queue and it will go back on standby waits rather than virtual queue. It's the only reason why it's on virtual queue. It has nothing to do with popularity or anything like that. In fact, virtual queue is not something to sweat over. Previous virtual queues, like with Rise the Resistance, if you didn't book it right at 7 a.m., they were gone in less than a minute. And maybe even like less than 10 seconds. They were that fast. Some people even pushed it right at 7 and they still wouldn't get boarding groups. Not the case with Haunted Mansion. I got here at 7:30 this morning, grabbed a boarding group at 7:33 a.m. and I got boarding group 82. They'll have another drop at 12 p.m. in the afternoon. And so that's like if you're starting over a DCA, you still have opportunities to get a Haunted Mansion boarding group, that sort of thing. It's not a super huge rush, so don't worry about it too much. You just have to get on the Disneyland app, go to the virtual queue section, hit join, and you're in. I also love to see construction progress going on over here for the Memento Mori store, which is going to be at the exit of Haunted Mansion. The last time that I was here, it wasn't an official construction update, but if you've been watching my videos outside of the construction updates, you saw that they added a framework here for that store. We also are starting to see some plywood appear in there as they're building up the building, adding more to it, and construction is progressing. If you are enjoying this video and finding it helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. And if you want to save money on your next Disneyland vacation, call my friends at Getaway today and tell them that SoCal Disney Dad sent you. Or click the link down in the description and use my coupon code to save on their already discounted packages. All of the scaffolding is down around Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and it is looking very close to opening time. They were testing the ride the last time that I was here. No testing, I don't think, going on at this exact moment, but I did see the construction workers on the ride, and they were having a good time. We do have water down in there flowing, so even though it's not currently testing, they haven't drained it again, so that's good. I still wouldn't necessarily expect this to open any earlier than they've promised, which is Friday, November 15th in time for the holiday season. But I said that about the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh and Critter Country as well, and look what happened there. So, who knows? If there is one thing that I've learned from these construction updates, it's that no matter how much I prepare, how much I research, how much I think that my opinions are informed, Disney can do whatever they want. And so you take the refurbishment calendar with a grain of salt, and I mean, it's probably going to be the case that you see on there, but Disney can do whatever they want. They can extend things, they can open things early. I'll give you that small glimmer of hope, I guess, but don't get your hopes too high because I don't want you to be disappointed unnecessarily. Case in point being right here, Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. In a previous construction update, we theorized that this would be open already because the Disney Eats and Disney Parks blog have already dropped a foodie guide for this place. And usually they drop a foodie guide about 2 weeks before the food releases. So we didn't necessarily give it a date, but we just said we expected this to open soon. Here it is, still closed with no budging or movement as far as when this is going to open. No answers. I just don't know why they released the foodie guide already if they're not planning on, I guess, just to hype people up. But when it opens, believe me, we'll be here. We'll be eating it. We'll be doing a review for you to see all the new foods. But for right now, we're just in a holding pattern. We haven't done any updates about the stores here, but the Briar Patch, which used to be a hat store right here across from Hungry Bear, is, still on the refurb calendar. They've opened quite a bit of stuff already, but this one's still listed as closed, and it's to be determined. We don't know when it's going to open. They could potentially open that one early. I don't see why that one would be tied to the opening of Tiana's. Again, since we know that they've already pre-opened this land, I just thought this whole land was going to be tied to the opening of Tiana's, but it is not. It's open again. So we're still waiting on the Briar Patch, which is going to be renamed to Ray's Berets. Still a hat store. We are seeing some progress to the entrance of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I assume that's going to be the standby, single rider and lightning lane. I would imagine that they have a single rider for this attraction. And here is just a little bit of a look of what we can see at the front of this building. Now, Pooh Corner down here is open even though it is under construction wall and scrim. I guess they're updating the outside of the store. Lewis's Critter Club, which is part of this store, it's going to be the section that is over there, actually is not on the refurb calendar at the moment, which I would have assumed it would have been, but maybe it's because it used to all just be Pooh Corner before. But as far as I'm aware, Lewis's Critter Club over there is definitely still not open. So I think it's just because Pooh Corner opened, and that would be why it came off the refurb calendar. They just didn't replace it with Lewis's Critter Club because the Briar Patch is still listed. They haven't changed the name to Ray's Berets there on the refurb calendar yet either. Really, a lot of the items on this construction update are going to be similar to what we've already talked about. Things that are just in progress, you can see updates, you can see how things are progressing, the things that we don't have end dates for, but I just want to show you how things are coming along because it is October. October is fall break month. This is one of the second busiest times of the year outside of spring break. And so Disney wants to make sure that all of their attractions are running at tip-top shape through at least the first 3 weeks of October because of these fall breaks. And what that means is you're actually not going to see a whole lot of new closures. In fact, through the rest of the year, I remember December last year, there was nothing on the calendar except for Astro Orbiter. It was just one thing. And I really didn't have a whole lot to talk about in the construction update. So as we progress towards the end of the year, you're going to find that rides are not going to go through refurbishments as much. The one exception to that is actually going to be the 2 weeks between Halloween and Christmas from November 1st to November 14th. That 2 week span right there could experience quite a few minor closures. I don't know if we'll see Indiana Jones pop up on the closure list again, but things like that can appear that it'll just be down for 5 days as they do some minor touch-ups leading into the Christmas season. We can expect to see that. The refurb calendar currently goes out through November 4th or 5th. I didn't pay super close attention to which date there, but I didn't see anything even for that week. So if anything appears, it might even be the week after. We'll have to wait and see. As we previously reported, Dumbo the Flying Elephant will close on Tuesday, October 1st, but it is scheduled to reopen just 1 day later on a Wednesday, October 2nd. So this is going to be a very, very short closure. The only people who are going to miss out are people visiting on October 1st and October 1st only. Again, just a very short closure. No clue what it's for, but maybe they have to switch out a part or something. We do have a broken ride vehicle, so that could be related. Of course, It's a Small World is already closed as it begins to make its transformation into It's a Small World holiday. This is quite a bit earlier than it usually is. It's usually only about a 2-week refurbishment. This is a 2-month refurbishment. So what that means is they have a lot more updates and maintenance to do than just the typical changeover, which often just involves a lot of light bulbs on the outside and then not just a bunch of light bulbs on the outside. They have a huge ton of displays on the inside that need swapped out. But I mean, as far as the exterior goes, they change the light bulbs. You would think that they would put like light bulbs on the facade that are multi-purpose so that they can make them white during the regular part of the year and colored at Christmas time. But last year I paid specific close attention to that, and they literally unscrewed all the bulbs because the bulbs that they put in their place were physically colored bulbs even when the lights weren't on. And so maybe that's part of what they're doing. I don't know. I mean, it'd be smart to put in LEDs or something that they can just switch out without having to send somebody up there to unscrew all those light bulbs. If you saw how many lights were on this thing, I'll put a clip from Christmas in here. How many light bulbs are on this thing? That's going to take a lot of tedious work to do all that light bulb screwing and unscrewing. So definitely some construction going on here at It's a Small World. It will reopen on Friday, November 15th. I did look, the refurb calendar does go through November 5th as of today. And there's only one additional ride that popped up on like the 3rd or 4th that's worth mentioning. It'll be over at DCA. We'll mention it a little bit later on in this video. However, nothing over here at Disneyland yet. And It's a Small World still listed, so we do know that it is probably going to go through November 15th, which is the kickoff of the Christmas season. Then on January 21st, online sources are stating that this will close again, but not just for the standard 2-week switchover back to the normal It's a Small World. No, it'll be another extended 2-month closure until spring break. And so they've got something big going on here. Well, I was going to try to get up close to the Fantasyland theater to talk about that. Not that there are any updates, but I just wanted to tell you that there are no updates. But of course, the Toontown Railroad Station, Toontown Disneyland Railroad Station over there, under construction walls. But look here, they've put up these barriers so that I can't even go into this area. You know, I'm wondering if that's because this is like fresh paint or something like that. You see those wet marks. I mean, those wet marks could be from any number of things, from like it just being morning here. But I don't remember it being green, and there's like a distinct sort of a tar smell in the air. So that, yeah, I'm guessing they just updated this whole area. They turned it green. I don't remember it being green. But I'm also not the most observant person in the world. I have to like look at previous footage and be like, was that the case? I don't remember. Anyway, we were able to get up close here to Troubadour Tavern. So this place is still open. I was worried that this was going to be closed since you couldn't enter the walkway here. But it's possible that the seating over here, yeah, the seating, they've gotten rid of the seating. Last time I was up here, I actually ate here. And all of those tables over there were interspersed here, and they had chairs around them, and we were able to have extended seating for Troubadour Tavern. We actually see some construction workers in there. I see, this is another thing of me being unobservant. Were those lights always there, or are they adding them? And if they're adding them, that means that they have something in mind to put there, correct? I mean, look at that box right there. That box has a whole bunch more lights. Are those all lights that they're getting ready to hang up? I'm not positive, but we are seeing some work going on over here at the Fantasyland Theater next to the Toontown Railroad Depot. Over here next to the Matterhorn, we have a surprise closure that I didn't see the last time we did this construction update, and it's already closed, so this one must have just popped up. That's what I'm talking about, folks. Sometimes refurbs just pop up. Like they didn't pre-plan this out 6 weeks ago when we were doing the September update. And even though it is still September as I'm filming this, this is now closed. We didn't tell you about it last time. What even is this? Well, this is Pixie Hollow, the place where you meet Tinkerbell. And again, it's located next to the Matterhorn and the hub here at Disneyland, just outside the council. And man, they got this thing all walled up, tighter than Fort Knox. Nope, and I can't even see anything over here next to Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters either. I met Tinkerbell once before, and I can't for the life of me remember when that was. If I can happen to find the footage in my big extensive library of footage, I will put that here and you can enjoy the meet and greet. Oh, we're meeting Tinkerbell.
Oh, that's so exciting. How many fairies? Sometimes it's hard to count, but I'd like to say that I have 10,000 friends. A lot of friends. Can we all say hi?
Go say hi.
You can go say hi. Hi, I'm Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell, what's your name? Benjamin. And what's your name? James. Nice to meet you, Benjamin and James. Would we like a picture together? All right, would you like to fly on this side? You can fly on this side. All right, big smiles.
Big smiles. Look at mommy. Look at mommy.
Say Pixie.
So Pixie Hollow is currently closed. Don't know exactly when it closed. I was last here on Thursday, September 12th. It is Tuesday, September 24th. So sometime in the last 12 days it closed. And it will not reopen again until a Tuesday, October 15th. So it will be closed for quite a while, at least the first 2 weeks of October. Don't know what they're doing, have no clue. Nobody's talking about this online because it's really not that important. In fact, I just did another bit of research while I've been sitting here just to see if anybody else in the last day has said anything about Pixie Hollow. Somebody mentioned it was closed, didn't really say what it was other than seasonal refurbishment. But what I did discover in that article, and it was a really random website that I've never heard of before. They said that beginning on October 22nd through November 12th, Tiana's Bayou Adventure will be having cast member previews. So that's a really long time for cast member previews. That's 3 weeks. Didn't say anything about pass holder previews. I know Walt Disney World does pass holder previews, but Disneyland has never really done pass holder previews. I think there's just too many of us. But any of you that were holding out hopes for Tiana's opening early, the earliest that it would probably open would be the 13th of November if this website is to be believed, because of cast member previews taking place from October 22nd to November 12th. I don't know how good that information is. Just letting you know, something I found online. Following the Halloween season, Mickey's Mix Magic Fireworks Show returns November 1st, as expected. It's kind of their default fireworks show when there's nothing seasonally going on here at Disneyland. That's Mickey's Mix Magic, and it will be back on November 1st. Now's a good time to talk about entertainment, because this also has been popping up on our Facebook group quite a bit. Entertainment, nighttime entertainment, daytime entertainment, parades, fireworks, Fantasmic, World of Color, that's what we're talking about. World of Color we'll mention a little bit later. Fantasmic has entered a new schedule, if you will, off-season schedule. It does not run Mondays through Thursdays, only Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Keep that in mind. No Fantasmic Mondays through Thursdays. Fireworks, even with Mickey's Mix Magic, will only be on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. They will still have the show, either Halloween Screams or Mickey's Mix Magic, or the Believe in Holiday Magic, I think it's called. I think that's the Christmas one that'll debut on November 15th. All three of these fireworks shows, fireworks will only be Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays from here on out. And Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, they still have the show. It's just projections only. So I highly recommend camping out on Main Street to get the full effect of those projections and things that are going on for those shows. They'll still have a show, just no fireworks. That'll change once we get into the Christmas season a little bit, like Thanksgiving week. They'll be daily through Thanksgiving week, I believe, if it's just like last year. Again, the calendar only goes out through November 5th. So I can't look at the entertainment schedules just yet, but we're just theorizing based on what we've seen in the past. Usually holiday weeks and things like that, they're going to show nightly. But during the not so peak times, even during fall break, they even though that's a busier time, it's still only going to be That Monday through Thursday is projections only. As far as parades go, right now for the Halloween season, they do have two cavalcades, well, one cavalcade that appears 2 times throughout the day. Very small, like a mini parade, if you will, for the Halloween season. And then once Halloween is done, it's going to end for 2 weeks. There won't be any parades at all in the first 2 weeks of November. And then I would expect to see the Christmas Fantasy Parade debut on November 15th. At 11 o'clock, it's time to hop on over to the other park to continue our construction update. And speaking of park hopping, one of you requested a park hopper tips / strategy video, and hopefully I'm going to be filming that here today. I'm also filming a top 10 things first timers need to do video. And if you're wondering why I haven't gotten any food in this video yet, because we typically do on construction updates, it's because all the food is going in that video. Yeah, so you can be looking out for that. I actually got the Tigger tail for the very first time in that video, so if you want to see my reaction to it, even if you're not a first timer, you're gonna have to check it out. As far as construction in Disney California Adventure goes, you always ask me about the Hyperion. I'm sorry to tell you, I still have no news. I mean, they haven't said anything. There hasn't been anything here in over a year, and I still get questions about it. I still don't have any answers. I'm sorry. Hyperion, just sitting dormant. However, we did get news since our last construction update, I believe, that the red car trolley will be disappearing, going bye-bye. I don't remember the date on that. I might have to look it up. Maybe they haven't announced the date, but the Avengers campus expansion that they're doing is going to be taking over the place where they store the red car trolleys, so they're getting rid of the red car trolleys. Okay, looked it up. So the internet only says early 2025. We don't have any specific date, but if you're coming anytime throughout the rest of this year, you'll be able to ride that red car trolley if you want to. Take advantage of it still being here because it'll be gone before too long. Also in this area right next to Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, there is something called the Shawarma Palace 2. And this is the second location of the Shawarma Palace. There's another one across from Pym Test Kitchen and Spider-Man Web Slingers. And this little cart right here closes on Sunday, September 29th and has no currently listed reopening date. That is through November 5th. Shawarma Palace 2 is listed on the refurb calendar. The Redwood Creek Challenge Trail finds itself back on the refurb calendar, but not the actual trail itself. Psych, just the name Redwood Creek, and I'll show you why in a minute. Or rather, I won't show you. Notice anything missing? Notice anything different? Yeah. There's usually a churro cart right here. The churro cart is gone, and this item is called the churro cart near the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. It's already closed, already gone, as a matter of fact, but it will come back on October 6th. That's Sunday, October 6th. I forgot what day it was. I had to turn my camera off, turn it back on. Sometimes these things happen. Truthfully, I'm actually shocked that the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail is not on the refurb calendar at all, because it typically closes for the 2 weeks between Halloween and Christmas as they switch over from all the what's it called, Villains Grove, over into like the Santa Wonderland, if you will. But if they're doing a lot of that via just like projections now in those boxes they've permanently established, there may not be a whole lot of switchover. However, we do have one known victim of the in-between season refurb overhaul, if you will, and that's going to be the Little Mermaid Ariel's Undersea Adventure. This attraction is set to close on Monday, November 4th, and has no reopening date as of yet because the refurb calendar is only 2 days long, and as far as when we know that one's going to be shutting down, I'm going to assume it'll be open by Friday, November 15th, however. And as is typical, we're coming here to talk about World of Color. I feel like World of Color makes it into every single construction update, even if all we're doing is talking about schedule changes or a removal of a show down from 2 shows to 1 show or whatever. Usually that's if the park closes at 9 o'clock, they only have 1 show. But today we get to show you all the work that's going on down here. They raised the platform and you can see that it is deep in the midst of overhaul. This is just what it looks like. I mean, a lot of that isn't really construction. That's just what it looks like. You can see the construction tower over there, and over here there's like some piping thing that appears to not necessarily be part of the main apparatus. But for the most part, all of that is just what's normally under the water anyway for World of Color. Of course, I don't know if you also knew this, but those boxes that are over there, those boxes, those are used for the projections. So they line the whole area around the lagoon. And yeah, World of Color currently under refurbishment. The working theory with this attraction is that it will be open on November 15th. Again, current refurb calendar has it going through November 5th, so the 15th isn't too much of a stretch, but that it will open up as World of Color Season of Light in time for the Christmas season. So that's when this one will open, removing World of Color 1, getting it ready for Season of Light. I'm hopeful that whenever it comes off of Season of Light in like January, February, that it will return to the original World of Color. But who knows? With the 70th on the horizon, they could just move it straight into a 70th celebration of World of Color. I prefer the original version. I don't know, I just do. It's my favorite. I want it to come back. I don't have any specific news to share with you in downtown Disney, but we're gonna walk through it anyway, look for updates. Other than confirmation that Porto's was definitely coming, we still don't know when this Earl of Sandwich is actually going to disappear. The other one has been open for like several months now. Actually, my bad. I think since my last construction update, we've got a whole ton of new information. In fact, I don't know why I poof out of my brain. We got like news of a whole bunch of new shops coming to downtown Disney, and I don't even know where half of them are going because of like I don't know where the space is going to be. We're going to walk down that way and theorize. First up is one that we actually have quite a bit of concrete information on, and seeing this construction wall reminded me of this. We have a transformation of Marceline's Confectionery into the Disney Wonderful World of Sweets, and we're going to come up here and look at the concept art. Here's what the new exterior will look like. This is what they're currently doing to the exterior. We already saw that the Disney dress shop used to be located over here. They closed that down, and they've been working on expanding Marceline's over into this building. Now we have this concept art of what it's going to look like when it is the Disney Wonderful World of Sweets. It's going to be huge. And again, that is going in this footprint right next to the entrance to the Grand Californian here in downtown Disney. Can you believe that less than a year ago, this was all a construction wall as well? With all of the plans that they have for here in downtown Disney, it's going to be an entirely different... If you haven't come in like 2 years, by the time all of this is done, downtown Disney isn't going to be even recognizable to you. We've been talking about it for a while, but we now have confirmation that Tortilla Joe's is being turned into a steakhouse and a barbecue spot from the imagination of Chef Joe Isidori. And we don't have names of these places. We just know that they are going to be a steakhouse and a barbecue spot, which is something that we had already heard through the grapevine anyway. And that's going to be on this footprint here. No construction progress. Again, I don't know when this is going to happen, but we do have word that it's going to happen. All right, so we've reached the end of downtown Disney here, straight ahead the Disneyland Hotel, and we do have the Parkside Markets, which have been under construction for quite some time now. So how do we make heads or tails of what's going on with the new stores and restaurants and all of that? Well, first off, we need to take a look at two key concept artworks. And the first of those key concept artworks is going to be this one for the Parkside Market. Excuse the construction sounds that are going on right now. You're just gonna have to deal with it. We do have this like little notched sort of appearance here. We can see Sip and Sonder, which is one of the places that are coming. The Parkside Market Bar, which is gonna be up here. Gigi's Chicken Shop, which is right down there. And then I'm assuming what's gonna be Soul Sister back here, along with some seating in the upper area, as well as seating up here. And this is the 4 restaurants coming to this little appearance. Now, if we back up, what we're seeing is that little notch, all right? So Sip and Sonder would be right there. The bar would be up there. We've also got some seating areas up there. Gigi's Chicken Shop and Soul Sister also located in there. And this is what we just saw in that concept art. Just this little portion that is in the camera frame right now. Everything else to the right of the camera frame is actually not in that concept artwork. Only this space right here. Now we move on to the second piece of a key concept art, and that is going to be on this wall. So once again, we have that notch. Now it's not as detailed here. This is probably an older concept artwork, more basic and rough, but we do have the little notch here, which I'm going to assume is going to be the Parkside Markets in this area. Again, just in this corner. But if you look here, we also have an additional store located here, as well as an additional store located here, and even another building all the way down at the end. This building isn't even there right now, I don't think. We have the entrance to Downtown Disney over here. We'll go down and we'll check out the space for that building, but we do have 3 potential store locations here. I don't know which one is which, but I have to guess based on concept art. It's going to be the D-Lander here, the Avengers Reserve here, and maybe the Kauai Slime Shop down here. Maybe they're putting that somewhere else. I mean, it could even fit into this like little corner over here. It looks like it's going to be more of a smaller type thing as opposed to like the big storefront that we see for one of the other 2 stores. And so this is, it looks like it is all going to fit here. I didn't think that it could, but that building must be significantly larger than it looks from the outside, of course. I feel like buildings are always like that, but this is the concept art for the west end of Downtown Disney. So as we take a look at this building, again, the initial concept art, it looks like it's going to end right about here, and then everything further down would be one store. So it does appear, I don't know if the whole second story up there will be seating for the food, and then it'll just be the store that's down here. I'm not really sure, or it's also possible that that's just an exterior entrance to some of the Parkside Markets, and that one of those stores is actually not going there at all, and we're getting one of the stores here, and then one of the other stores over in where that's going to be. But you can see the concept art there for the Avengers Reserve down here. I mean, both of them kind of have that appearance to them, but this is going to be one of the stores, I would imagine, right down this way. And then we saw that third building down here behind these construction walls. There's no third building at the moment. So something, I mean, they're planning on building something here. One of those stores, or maybe something entirely different, I don't know. We do have the new entrance to Downtown Disney from the Downtown Disney parking lot over here. And this used to be the only entrance into Downtown Disney for a little while when they closed the one from the Disneyland Hotel. It's a very nice entrance to Downtown Disney, mind you. Very nice entrance. And they've also got these restrooms right here too. But it was a bit of an inconvenience for Disneyland Hotel guests to have to use this. But take a look at this. They've added back in an entrance into Downtown Disney from the Disneyland Hotel. They had ripped this out for a little while, had it completely behind construction walls, but it is open again. It's got a new look, a full awning that covers the entirety of all 6 stations, and that's interesting. Not quite as good looking as the front entrance. If they were going to redo this, I wished they would have done, for continuity's sake, the same style of entrance that they did at the front of the new Downtown Disney entrance. So I am kind of disappointed that this is what it is now, but excited for the Disneyland Hotel guests not to have to go all the way down and around. Now, what about the ESPN building? I feel like this is just a huge waste of space. I'm sure they're using it for something. It's probably like storage or something, but still, I feel like there's so much potential for that space here in Downtown Disney. Also, the Star Wars trading post over there, which was only meant to really be temporary, something that popped up during COVID because the parks were closed. Downtown Disney was open. It was something for people to come and do, be able to buy lightsabers. You had to get like a virtual queue to go in there during the the deepest parts of the shutdowns, but it was still open, and it's been here ever since, going on 4 years. I don't think it's necessary anymore with the parks open. So that's another space that I feel like is unutilized, has better potential. And that's it for our time here today at Disneyland, giving you an October construction update. What are your thoughts on everything that we just talked about? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out. Click this video to keep watching. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time.